The wind rustled gently through the Zen garden in Northern California. Wind chimes sang in a calming rhythm as sunlight filtered through bamboo trees. It was the kind of place that promised peace, something Daniel Reed hadn't felt in years. Daniel was 38. By all accounts, he had made it. A luxury condo in downtown San Francisco, a six-figure salary, awards stacked in his office like trophies of war. But deep inside, he was running on empty, drained, anxious, and hollow. He sat across from a serene old monk named Ikiro, whom his therapist had recommended after witnessing Daniel's latest panic attack. "I just don't get it," Daniel said, looking down at the teacup in his hands. "I've followed every rule, hit every goal, so why do I feel like I'm drowning?" The monk didn't answer. Instead, he picked up the teapot and began pouring more tea into Daniel's cup, and kept pouring. Daniel gasped as the tea spilled over the edges. "Hey, it's overflowing." Ikiro looked into Daniel's eyes. "Exactly. Like this cup, your mind is overflowing with ambition, pressure, noise. You've filled it with so much that there's no room left for peace." Daniel was speechless. "Before anything new can enter," Ikiro added, "you must empty your cup." That one moment didn't fix everything, but it cracked something open. For the first time, Daniel saw himself clearly, not as a success story, but as a man drowning in what he thought he needed. Later that week, Daniel wandered into Golden Gate Park. He hadn't planned to. He just walked until the noise of traffic faded. He sat on a wooden bench, watching squirrels chase each other, while his mind ran faster than ever. His phone buzzed with unread messages. Clients, deals, expectations. He wanted to scream. Then a voice broke the silence. "You look like someone who hasn't breathed in a while." He turned to see a woman sitting a few feet away. She was in her 50s, wearing layers of old clothing and holding a paper bag. "Excuse me," he said, surprised. She chuckled. "You're dressed like a winner, but you've got tired eyes. I know that look. I used to have it." She offered him half a sandwich. He raised an eyebrow. "You're offering me food. Why not?" She smiled. "Kindness doesn't depend on bank accounts." Daniel hesitated, then accepted it. The sandwich was dry but comforting. "I'm Maya," she said. "Used to be a college professor. Lost my husband to cancer. Then my home, my job. Everything. Took me years to find peace again." Daniel's jaw dropped. "How are you so calm?" "I stopped chasing more," she replied. "I started paying attention instead. To moments, to people, to peace." Daniel looked at his phone, then back at her. That old device suddenly seemed meaningless. He sat there for over an hour, listening to her stories. The sun began to dip, but Daniel felt full. Maya's presence was like the tea he'd needed all along. Simple, warm, grounding. That night, Daniel returned to his luxurious but sterile apartment. Granite countertops, giant windows, art on the walls. Yet it felt cold. Empty. He sat in front of the mirror, still in his designer clothes, staring at a stranger. The confident CEO, the motivational speaker, the man who always had the answers. Only now he saw the cracks. His smile looked forced, his eyes empty. Daniel opened his laptop and drafted an email. "To my valued team, I've decided to take a leave of absence. Not because I'm weak, but because I'm finally strong enough to admit I need to heal. For years, I've defined success by numbers. It's time to rediscover who I am when I'm not performing. Be kind to yourselves. You matter more than your output." He hovered for a moment, then hit send. That night, he didn't check the stock market. He didn't post a filtered picture. He just sat on the floor, looked out the window, and cried. For the first time in years, a month later, Daniel checked into a silent retreat in Oregon. No phones, no distractions, just nature, silence, and stillness. The first day was agony. No Wi-Fi, no calls. Just himself. He struggled. At meals, he avoided eye contact. During meditation, his thoughts raced. "What am I doing here? This is insane." But by day 5, something changed. He started waking up with the sunrise. He walked barefoot in the grass. He helped clean the kitchen. He began to listen. not to respond but to understand. In one circle session, they were allowed to speak briefly. A teenage girl named Ellie shared her struggle with self-worth and depression. A man in his 60s talked about his guilt as a recovering addict. A young mother said she hadn't slept in 2 years. Daniel listened. Their pain mirrored his own, even though their stories were different. And when it was his turn, he said simply, "I used to think I had it all, but truth is, I was just hiding behind titles and to-do lists. I forgot how to feel, until now." There were no applause, just nods. Quiet understanding. That night, as he walked through the bamboo grove behind the retreat center, he stopped and closed his eyes. For the first time in his adult life, he felt still, whole. 6 months later, Daniel stood in a small community center in San Francisco. No spotlight, no luxury stage, just folding chairs, a microphone, and real people. He was invited to speak at a support group for adults in recovery, some facing homelessness, others rebuilding after tragedy. He looked out at them and began, "When I was younger, I thought success was about filling my life with more money, more achievements, more stuff. But my cup was always overflowing, with stress, fear, and pressure." He paused, looked at a woman holding a child in the front row. "I had to empty my cup, step away from what the world said I needed, and in that emptiness, I found room for peace, for real connection, and for meaning." As the event ended, people approached him with tears in their eyes. They shared their stories, thanked him, some asked for hugs. In the back, someone slowly stepped forward. It was Maya, but she looked different now. Cleaner clothes, healthier skin, a quiet strength. "I got into a program," she said softly. "Found housing. Got a part-time job at the library." Her eyes shimmered. "Thank you for listening to me that day. No one else did." Daniel's throat tightened. "No, Maya, thank you. You helped me empty my mind." As they stood side by side, the room humming with quiet hope, Daniel finally understood. When you empty your mind of all that doesn't serve you, the space that's left can hold love, healing, and a new beginning. Daniel's story is not about abandoning ambition, but about redefining success. He learned that an overflowing cup can't hold peace, that true strength lies in stillness, that a sandwich from a stranger, a walk through a bamboo grove, or one honest moment can transform a life. So if you feel overwhelmed by the world, empty your mind and watch your life begin to refill with what truly matters.